Prologue. Static begins. Lights up on a 1960s TV set. The host is sitting in a chair behind a desk, talking directly to the camera.
It's been 30 years since the mysterious fires that engulfed the town of Eldridge Grove. Many questions were raised in the subsequent aftermath of the disaster, none more prominent than what had become of the inhabitants of Eldridge Grove. After the fires were put out, law enforcement swept the area and found no trace of burned bodies or even so much as a stray dog. Welcome back to the Walter Sullivan Show. I'm your host, Walter Sullivan. These questions have gone unanswered for decades until now. Folks, what you are about to hear are the surviving audio recordings and local television broadcasts leading up to that fateful event. Never before seen or heard by the public, these recordings may shock you. They may disgust you. They may make you question everything you thought you knew about that day. Everything you are about to hear is real.
Scene 1. Lights up, revealing a 1930s radio show studio.
It's the honest report. I swear I'll keep it short. Giving you only what you need to know. I'm giving you the truth. Your local hometown sleuth. Going farther than anyone else would go. 'Cause you really need to know.
He'll give you the truth. He'll give you the truth. He'll give you the truth.
Politicians just don't see. They cry conspiracy. But that sure looks like the truth to me. Police are just as bad. Leave you feeling mad. Lie until you realize you've been had. It's a crying shame and sad.
He'll give you the truth. He'll give you the truth.
It's true. Breaking news, folks. Another body has just been found. Local authorities tried to claim it was a victim of a car accident, but quickly backtracked and put out the official cause of death as homicide. Why were they so quick to change their tune, you may ask? Well, none other than your very own Harold P. Loberman was one of the first people on the scene. And if there's one thing you know about me, it's that I don't leave without getting answers. This is the 10th murder reported in the last 6 months in Eldridge Grove. Now, sensitive viewers may want to tune out for a moment. Death of the incident are as follows. The victim, 34-year-old Eileen Allen Perkins, was found in the early hours of this morning by her husband. He came downstairs to find his wife sitting in the living room with the television set on. He went to kiss her goodbye before heading off to work. What he found would change everything. First, a violent knife wound to Eileen's appendix, clearly the cause of death. Second, after Eileen's heart had stopped and the bleeding was slowed, her body was positioned in a single chair facing the television set. And finally, most noticeably, the absence of both of Eileen's eyes from her skull. Surgically removed well after the initial knife wound, the killer, or killers, had completed their nefarious deed all while Mr. Perkins was sleeping in his bed right above them. And we are asked the same questions. Who is murdering? Yes, murdering the people of our town. And why aren't our politicians or law enforcement doing anything about it? What, do they expect us to sit quietly until it's our turn to have our eyes ripped out? Well, not me, audience. You can count on that. In other news, stirrings of an underground organization are making their way up to officials' ears. As of reporting, this is just hearsay, but with times being what they are, anything is possible. If they mean to do good, and I hope they can do more than Mayor McMichaels has done for the people of our town. But that's all for now. But stay tuned for the most up-to-date updates on these strange goings-on. Remember, when you're looking for answers, I'll give you the truth.
Scene 2. Lights up on a police precinct. The chief of police is sitting at his desk listening to the ending of the radio show jingle. Barbara, a detective, storms into the office holding a voice recorder.
What the hell, Chief? This is log date 91339, 9:33 a.m.
Barbara, what's going on? Are you recording right now?
What's going on is you've been keeping me in the dark about these murders.
Deaths.
Murders! And hell yes, I'm recording. This is the only thing that'll hold up in court.
Oh, come on, Babs.
The recorder.
I got one bad tip. Sue me.
One bad tip, my ass. You had me driving all along the south side, interviewing loons who wouldn't know a crime scene from a family gathering.
What do you want from me, Babs?
I want you to take this seriously. 10 deaths in 6 months? No way that's a coincidence. And from what I hear, there are more similarities between the crimes than you are sharing with me.
Who are you hearing this from? Loberman?
Don't give me that. I hate him as much as you do. But when my superior is withholding evidence from me, where else am I supposed to look? I'm the best detective you've got, Chief. Don't waste both of our time having me benched. To do my job, I need all the information we have, and I need it before that blowhard Loberman gets his hands on it.
I gave you your shot, and I don't need to tell you how that turned out.
I was off on a few details, but if you gave me unrestricted access to the crime scenes and evidence, I could prove that all these murders are all connected.
Here we go again with this, Barbara. Listen, I like you. You do great work, but you're blowing this out of proportion. You need every case to be some big bust, and sometimes it's just not.
This isn't about me. This is about keeping the people of this town safe, whether it be from a mass serial killer or more drunk drivers than usual. That's always been my MO, Chief. You know that.
Fine.
You'll let me see the crime scenes?
No, the boys are already sweeping Shelley Street, but I'll give you the next best thing.
The chief slides a manila envelope across his desk.
Photos of the most recent crime scene. Nobody has seen these yet except for me, despite what Loberman would have people believe. See if you can find something I missed.
Chief, you won't regret this.
Let's hope so. I'll leave you to it.
The chief exits the office, leaving Barbara alone. She pulls out the photos and spreads them out on the table.
Since I was a child, I've always had a knack for faces, little details, like names, times and places, clues to a puzzle I could solve. Even better if I was told not to get involved. But my insistence, my persistence, and my talent could not be ignored. So one day, the chief said, join the force. What position?
Detective.
Of course. Now I use this skill set every day to find the pieces, gather clues, check the story, watch the news, and put the bad guys away. All right, Barbara, get a hold of yourself. This is just like any other case. Think it through. Look past the obvious, see with more than eyes. A gruesome murder, open shut case, or maybe a disguise. Hiding something I'm not meant to find. One glance and I'm inside the culprit's mind. Step 1, location. Where was the body found? At home, left vacant, except the husband's sleeping sound. No force of entry, no sign of a fight. You'd think to blame Mr. Perkins, but that doesn't feel right. Step 2, the cause of death. A knife to the side, but why then all the dress up? What are you trying to hide? victim. Who would do her in? Her list of enemies was pretty thin. Damn it, Eileen, looks like you're a clean slate. I missed a photo. Wait! Right here in black and white, but clear as day. I know I've seen this scene before. They won't get away. Oh, this reeks of the occult. But I need more information to assault the library. Yes, that's where I'll go to find exactly what I need to know.
Scene 3. Lights up on a reporter standing in front of a television camera.
I am here live at the Eldridge Grove Square, where Mayor McMichaels is about to issue a statement regarding the most recent suspicious body found early this morning. This is the latest in a series of tragedies that have befallen our peaceful town. Here is Mayor McMichaels now.
Good people of Eldridge Grove, I have heard your cries and suffered your grief. These strange times produce strange characters who go against the will of all you good people. Yes.
Mayor, are all these murders connected? And how does this impact the upcoming election season?
At present, I cannot say whether or not we have suspicions to believe that all the recent crimes may have been carried out by one or small few persons, but believe me when I say that we have every officer of the law searching for answers to your question. And as for the election, my top priority is keeping the polls open and safe. Remember, a vote for me is change you'll see.
Mayor McMichaels, what's your opinion on the new religious group, The Way? Could the recent activity somehow coincide with the spike of violent crimes?
Now, I do believe folks should be allowed to worship as they see fit. But as far as accusations of any nefarious deeds go, law enforcement has no official comment at this time.
Mr. Mayor, what can you tell us definitively about what is happening in Eldridge Grove?
Good people, I know you're scared. I know you feel like information has been kept from you and that you might feel even more scared, but believe me when I say that everything I do for your benefit. Everything I say or don't say is carefully chosen to make certain you are safe and comfortable. Not too long ago, before I became a politician, I was just like you, run down, tired, just looking to get by and see the next day. And though my job title may be a few more bells and whistles, I still feel for the common man. I'm not a fancy city slicker, a punching wearing my hand-me-down knickers, but I believe that this has made me what I am, a born and raised Southern man. I do my best to serve no matter what the pay, though it isn't small since that bill passed last May. My voice is your voice, so listen to what I say. Times may be tough for you, but I am here to stay. Hey. On in town, I've been doing this whole run around so long that I can't recall when last I had a break. But I choose that sacrifice because I'm just so nice. Small-time family values are what I strive to make, and you can tell by the way Ba-da-psu-wop-bop-dweedo. Dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dee-da-do. Now people need some order, that's how they will survive. They need a fearless leader, and that is where I thrive. There's what to do and where to go and for how long. If they need a suggestion, go ahead and sing along. Dabba-dabba-dip-dip-dwado. Hey, hey, hey. Ba-dum-su-wop-bop-dweedo. Dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dee-da-do. In light of recent events, I have decided to place a curfew on every resident of Eldridge Grove. Everyone is to stay in their homes from the hours of 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. This is for your own protection and will allow law enforcement to complete a more thorough search of the town. I know you must have concerns, but hear my words in honest, homegrown Southern boy. I've got your best interests at heart. And you can tell by the way I move my lips that I'm an honest man. I'll show all my cards, I'll put down all my chips. Listen and you'll understand. Dabba-da-dip-dip-dwado. Hey, hey. Ba-dum-su-wop-bop-dweedo. Dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dee-da-do. Dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dee-da-do.
Scene 4. Lights up on H.P. Loberman's radio show set.
Well, you heard that right, folks. Mayor McMichaels is issuing a curfew to all citizens of Eldridge Grove. Ha! Really bright idea, Mayor. Force everyone into their homes between the hours of 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. when every murder in the past 3 weeks has occurred between the hours of, guess what, 9 p.m. and 6 a.m., and with each murder occurring in the victim's place of residence. At this time, all prime suspects are those living in close proximity to the victims. This means the murderer could be your neighbor, your friend, the person sleeping next to you at night. Trust no one, especially not Mayor McMichaels. But just what is the mayor trying to keep hidden from all of you good people? If you ask me, and you should, this smells like a textbook cover-up. Well, lucky for you, I have the inside scoop on some shady transactions involving the mayor. A quick look into last year's campaign budget reveals that over 45% of Mayor McMichael's donations came from an unknown foreign backer. Who are these people? What companies are lining the mayor's pockets? And why should this concern you? Because, good people, if our own politicians can be bought, we can be sold. Now, I don't like this curfew any more than you do, but while you're home, I would advise locking your doors and staying vigilant at all times. Trust no one. And remember, when you're looking for answers, I'll give you the truth. We'll return after a quick message from a sponsor.
Have you felt lost when it comes to the safety of your family? Do you have a plan of action for when the burglar finally sneaks past the dog? Can you guarantee your local law enforcement will keep the bad guys away? Well, put your worries and your enemies to sleep with the new Remington Model 17 pump-action shotgun. With its sleek new design, you'll be able to load and unload twice as fast. It's so easy, a child could do it. Now mailed right to your door. This is a good way to get a good night's sleep no matter who lurks in the shadows. Head on down to Edgar Hart's gun shop before your neighbor gets one.
The best defense is a good offense.
Lights up on Barbara entering the town library. A librarian sits behind the desk. 2 suspicious people are lurking around the lobby.
This is log date 91339, 1:07 p.m. Good afternoon, ma'am. Detective Barbara Gordon.
Hello, dearie. How can I help you today?
I was hoping you could find me something. Where do you keep the town's old newspapers?
That would be on floor 3. May I ask, is this for an investigation?
Sorry, ma'am, that's classified information. Thank you.
Let me know if you need anything else, dearie.
We follow Barbara to a small room full of labeled boxes stacked on shelves.
Well, here we are. I know I've read reports very reminiscent of what's been happening, but where to start? I think I remember something about peculiar gang activity somewhere around 1895.
Barbara goes to a box and begins rummaging through old newspapers. The other side of the stage lights up, showing the librarian at her desk with 2 suspicious people surrounding her.
It looks like you're all ready to check out. Do you have a card with us?
Yes, ma'am, but first, I wanted to ask for a moment of your time. We're filming a small interview spot for the television. Could we ask you a few questions?
Oh, when I was younger, I always wanted to be an actress. Ask away, dearie.
I knew we picked the right person. When did you start working here at the library?
I've worked here for 30 years. I know this library like the back of my hand.
30 years is a long time. Why stay here in town so long? Do you ever think about leaving?
Well, I've lived in this town my whole life. This is all I know. Even with the world ending according to the radio, I don't have anywhere else to go.
Well, we have one last question for you. Have you been feeling lost?
Lights back up on Barbara.
Here it is. September 15th, 1845. You need to see it to believe it. Another body found with eyes dislodged from skull. Victim found in home on Shelley Street. The attacker came in the early hours of the morning. Body positioned in the parlor room well after time of death. It's all matching. Come on, baby, give me something to work with. After thorough investigation, the only evidence found at the scene of the crime was a brooch bearing an unidentified symbol. Yes!
Barbara jumps to her feet and walks back to the lobby of the library.
Oh, excuse me.
Not a problem. We were just about to call for a break.
Yes. What seems to be the problem, dearie?
I'm going to have to ask you to step aside, if you don't mind.
Of course. My apologies.
Ma'am, I need you to point me to any books that reference this symbol.
Oh, it's been a long time since I've seen that.
You know it.
Well, of course. That's the crest of the lost.
Crest of the lost?
They were a pagan sect originally from Europe. They eventually migrated to the Americas in the 1600s to spread their views free of judgment. Sometime after they made their way further west, even spreading to this very town. Of course, that was a long time ago.
How do you know this?
Well, it's part of the town's history. Everyone should know that. What are they teaching in school these days?
Can you help me?
Number 230.1 over on that shelf, dearie.
Thank you, ma'am.
Be careful now, dearie. You can get lost in here if you're not careful. You can come back in again. I'm ready for my close-up.
Barbara crosses to the bookshelf where she pulls out a book.
229.9, 230, 230.1, Pagan Origins in Eldridge Grove. Catchy. The Cult of the Lost was a niche group formed from a collective worship of the deity Sol. They believed that Sol was the bringer of peace to the mortal world, and that peace was to be brought on by a cleansing of the earth through fire. Ambert Cross was said to be the leader of the Cult of the Lost when they settled in Eldridge Grove. Cross stated that the sect's goal was to raise their god to the material plane where it would enact its will on the world.
Cult members pantomime the killings as the dialogue continues.
The ritual of bringing Sol forth involved an intricate string of killings based around specific locations, times, and mutilations to the bodies after death as a form of sacrifice to Sol. Though the cult's behaviors and rituals seemed extreme, Ambert Cross was very persuasive with his ideals, targeting those who lacked financial or social stability to enlist in his cult. These followers were labeled as the Found.
The cult members gather around each other. We hear burning, fire crackling, and screaming.
The symbol of the Cult of the Lost, a spiraling path, depicts the cult's belief of a new world, free from the sins of the past, led by their deity. The symbol also grew a sense of kinship between members, imagining their collective goals as they all walk down the same road together.
Come, ye scattered,
but Cross and his followers became infamous throughout Eldridge Grove, dodging authorities for 11 murders. After a brooch with the cult's symbol was left behind at the crime scene of the 12th murder within the span of 6 months, officials had amassed enough evidence to put Cross on trial, where he was tried as guilty and sentenced to hang. He had this to say on the day of his hanging.
Forgive them, Lord, they know not what they do. They've stopped the rapture said to be brought by you. When next the lives of 13 are gone, your name and power shall live on.
For many decades, scholars debate the meaning of Cross' last words, with one theory rising in popularity. Philosopher, scientist, and scholar Vera Karloff suggested that Cross' last words were a code to the followers in the cult of the...
Hello. You seem lost.
Oh, yes. I mean, no. I was just about to leave.
What are you reading?
Nothing anymore, and I'm not lost. Goodbye.
Sorry for getting off on the wrong foot. Let's start over. We just have a few simple questions to ask you.
How long have you lived here in Eldridge Grove?
Listen here, Sonny. I'm an official detective of this town, and I will not be harassed by a couple of goons at a library of all places.
We don't want any trouble. Just give us the book and we'll be out of your hair.
That's an interesting necklace you've got there.
Do you like it? It's tradition. The symbol is a very old crest.
We all have one.
If you would like your own, we would love to talk with you about the way.
The way, huh? That's what you're calling yourselves now? The cult of the lost was too much of a mouthful?
Someone has been doing her research. We could talk more at one of our church buildings.
Thanks for the invitation, but I think we're done talking.
Barbara pulls suspicious person one closer and rips the necklace from their neck. She then throws the book to the other side of the room.
Hey!
The book.
Barbara runs for the exit. Scene 6. Lights up on a reporter standing in front of a television camera.
Breaking news. Another murder has taken place in town. Victor Atwood, age 46, has been found dead in his home. After a sizable amount of evidence was released earlier this week by police, we can confirm that this tragedy follows the pattern of the recent string of deaths in Eldridge Grove. Atwood's body had been stabbed once in the chest, this being the cause of death. Officials tell us his corpse was moved to the kitchen in his house and positioned to be reading a newspaper. His eyes were completely removed. We go live to the scene of the crime, where Mayor McMichaels is issuing a statement.
Citizens of Eldridge Grove, unfortunately, yet another one of our beloved members of our town has been found dead in their homes. I am working very closely with law enforcement, continuing the investigation of any possible culprits or causes. But at this time, we cannot give any further information as it might hinder the investigation. In these trying times, we must turn to our community for aid. That is why I am happy to announce that Velma Craven, a representative of the Church of the Way, has offered their space as refuge for any of those who are scared to reside alone in their homes. She will be also working with me personally as my community liaison, ensuring that your continued safety and comfort are the highest priority. Oh, please welcome Miss Velma Craven.
Good evening, everyone. It pains my heart to see another loss to our town, but I will not rest until I've done everything in my power to keep all of you safe. As the mayor said, if you find yourself scared, alone, or lost, please visit one of our churches in town where you'll be welcomed with open arms.
Thank you, Miss Craven. Thank you, people of Eldridge Grove. And remember, a vote for me is change you'll see.
Have you been feeling lost, alone, scared? To tell you the truth, we have too in these trying times. But what if we told you, you can find your path, and you'll never be alone again? Cast your fears aside and join the way. The Way is a community of like-minded individuals who believe in a common goal of unity and cleansing. We make the path clear for those who are lost. Simply, The Way is where you can finally be found. Hear from some of our newest members.
It feels like the way has been with me my entire life.
My eyes have finally been opened to the truth.
I felt trapped in my job, in my life, and the way has set me free.
Are you feeling lost?
Then come find The Way.
Stop me if you've heard this one, folks. Mayor Mick Michaels has yet again proven that he has no business governing a flea circus, let alone our town. The mayor gave his official statement regarding the most recent murder in Eldridge Grove earlier today, and stuck to his usual strategy of dodging questions and letting other people take the fall for his incompetence. The man clearly has no plan for your safety. If you're scared, you're not alone. And if you aren't, you should be. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that the mayor had a hand in these murders. Of course, this is speculation. And what's more, he's appointed one Miss Velma Craven as a community outreach stunt. Now, I commend Miss Craven for stepping up and providing some actual peace and comfort for the people of this town, even if the spaces she's offering are operated by that secretive group, The Way. But whatever servant heart Miss Craven possesses, this is clearly a ploy by the mayor to distract from the lack of information he is giving out. But enough about my thoughts. Unlike some people who could talk about themselves until the cows come home, I want to hear from you. The lines are now open. Oh, it seems we're getting a call right now. Salutations, you're on the air with The Truth.
Hello, Mr. Loberman?
The one and only.
Yes, hello. You were talking about the organization, The Way?
Yes, I was. A very mysterious bunch. Do you have any insight to share, dear listener?
Well, it just so happens that I am a recent convert to The Way.
Holy smokes! A first-hand account. All right, miss. Let's hear your truth.
The Way has been a welcoming home to those dealing with grief. Many of the spouses and family members of those who have been killed have found home and community in our churches.
Well, now, isn't that nice?
Oh, yes, it is. Our mission is to unify the community before it's too late.
Oh, before it's too late? What do you mean by that?
You said it yourself, Harold. With times being what they are, who knows what tomorrow will look like, or if there will even be a tomorrow.
That sounds a little threatening.
Not a threat at all, dearie. Just a warning.
Well, thanks for your concern, but as my viewers know, I never back down from a story. If these killers happening to be listening now hear this, I, Harold P. Loberman, am not scared. I will keep digging and find out all I can about you and present my findings to my listeners. Someone has to keep this town safe and informed, and if you're really looking for a fight, you know where to find me. Ma'am, I thank you for your call. It's always good to hear from a new perspective.
Anytime, Mr. Loberman.
Now, as we come to the end of tonight's broadcast, I urge you, check your locks, your windows, and your neighbors. Sleep with one eye open so you don't lose them both. And remember, when you're looking for answers, I'll give you the truth.
Scene 9. Lights crossfade to the police precinct the next morning. Barbara enters the chief's office holding her tape recorder.
Log date 91639. Chief, you're not gonna believe this.
Where the hell have you been, Babs? You've been out of the office for 3 days with not so much as a note.
Sorry, Chief. I've been getting answers, but those answers have been leading to more questions.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this.
What am I looking at?
It's the key, Chief. This is the symbol of the Way.
Jesus, don't tell me you're one of them now.
It's also the symbol for a much older cult. That's right, I said cult. A cult that was known for sacrificing people in ways that are suspiciously similar to our friends giving handouts across the street.
Take a breath, kid. You're saying we've got a cult in our town?
That's right, and they think what they're doing will raise a primordial god. Now, don't say,
I don't believe any of that.
I know you don't, but they believe, and that's dangerous.
That's a lot of accusations with no evidence.
But that's where you're wrong. Look, I mapped out all the killings that have happened over the last 6 months. They make a pattern. I just can't see it yet.
This is what you've been doing? Reading old books and doodling?
I'm doing more than anyone else in this damn building.
Cool it, Barbara, or I'll take you off the case.
I need clearance to search the Way's church buildings. They're hiding something.
There are people in those buildings, scared people, and you're gonna stomp in there and arrest the volunteers taking care of them?
I'm gonna do what no one else will. They prey on the weak, then go for the kill.
Barbara, stop, don't give me that face. You're in too deep, kid, you're off the case.
Don't you dare. I'll walk out the door.
Walk out the door and you're done for.
Just trust me, Chief.
No, now, just sit down. You're losing your
I'm protecting
mind.
this town.
And so am I.
You're protecting yourself.
Excuse me.
You don't care about the Commonwealth.
Careful now.
I've had enough, old man.
Where are you going?
If you won't help, I'll find the person who can.
Damn!
Scene 10. Lights fade to outside radio station. Barbara speaks into her recorder.
Log date 9/1/6/39, 12:07 p.m. I am in the one place I thought I would never be, on my way to make nice with Loberman. But for all the wrong about him, he hears people out. And I'll bet he's crazy enough to go searching through the churches with me. It's funny. Not 2 days ago, I was wishing he would go die in a hole.
Breaking news. At 12:07 this afternoon, citizens were jostled by a loud crash, followed by plumes of smoke blocking out the sun for several hours. It was later revealed that the radio station of beloved show host Harold P. Loberman had been blown to smithereens. Officials were quick to arrive on the scene and identified Loberman's body in the rubble alongside remnants of an explosive device.
Just mere hours have passed since the traumatic event. We have a local detective, Barbara Gordon, here with us, who was the only witness at the scene of the crime. Miss Gordon, what do you make of this latest incident?
I can't make sense of it. It doesn't match any recent patterns.
We've heard rumors that many think this explosion is linked to the other deaths in the town.
No, this isn't like the other cases. They were procedures to follow, pieces that fit together. They want you to know it was them. This feels more like someone, probably a high-profile person, is trying to cover their tracks.
High profile? Would it be safe to say we could consider Frank McMichaels a suspect in this crime? It's no secret that Loberman and the mayor had a long-standing feud between them.
We can't rule anyone out at this point.
You heard it here, folks. Frank McMichaels, accused of murder.
It's been 1 week since the death of Harold P. Loberman, and Mayor Frank McMichael still will not comment on the situation or the allegations that he was involved in the bombing of the radio station. Officials have acquired warrants to enter the mayor's private residence and apprehend him. Stay tuned for the latest updates on the case.
With the arrest of the mayor, we must ask ourselves, who can we trust?
Mayor McMichaels was brought into police custody earlier this week on charges of premeditated homicide and public destruction.
And on the heels of another tragedy, trust is more important now than ever.
With newfound evidence from McMichael's residence, law enforcement has linked him to all 12 murders that have occurred over the last 7 months in Eldridge Grove.
And it means so much to me that you've chosen to put your trust in me as the interim mayor of this wonderful, resilient town.
Frank McMichaels has been charged with 12 accounts of first-degree murder. If convicted, he could be facing life in prison.
It's easy to feel lost in these times, but good people of Eldridge Grove, I assure you, I will show you the way.
Scene 12. Barbara enters the chief's office.
Hi, Chief. I'll get out of your hair. I just came back from my recorder.
It's been running all night.
Sorry, Chief.
I know this has been rough for you with the non-stop interviews. We haven't been able to talk.
I'm sorry for what I said.
Kid, you've heard a hard lesson. It's in the past.
That's it? No, you're out of here for good?
No, of course not. We can't push aside everyone has lost their way.
Oh, okay. Somebody slept a full 8 hours last night.
Babs, I know you're still not feeling great about this case.
I know the mayor was taken to the slammer, but I can't shake this feeling, Chief. It's like something is missing and I can't see it. I just need to fit the pieces together.
Let it go, kid. It'll help you sleep. A letter came for you this morning. It's on your desk.
No return address? Who is this?
What does it say?
Now that you've lost, come be found. Is this some kind of sick joke?
You're the one who's good with puzzles.
Now that you've lost. What have I lost? We got our guy, didn't we?
That's right.
Unless... No.
What?
Chief, I need my map, the one with the murder locations marked.
What for?
I'll show you.
The chief pulls out a map of the town and lays it on his desk. Barbara takes a pen and starts crossing off spots on the map.
What are you doing?
Now that you've lost, come be found. What do you need when you're lost? A map.
Okay, but are you lost?
I was, but I think I'm putting the pieces together. I'm marking the locations from the new murders that have occurred.
Babs, you're sounding crazy again. Like you said, we got our guy.
I know, but look!
What's here?
Wisberg Lane, the radio station here.
What's here?
You don't see it? It's making some kind of image.
You know I'm not artistic, Babs.
An image of what, though?
This here kind of looks like a cow.
Oh my God. Chief, look, these locations match up with the crest of the lost.
Now that's the detective I know.
But here, see, the radio station fits perfectly.
What does this mean?
It means the Way are the ones who have been committing the murders. I was right. They are sacrificing people for the same ritual they tried 100 years ago. The mayor is innocent.
Well, the mayor is far from innocent.
Look, after the radio station, the path goes on. The crest isn't complete.
Yes.
That means the ritual isn't over yet. There have only been 12 murders.
Only? That's more murders than this town has seen in a long time.
When the lives of the 13 are gone, Chief, there is gonna be another murder.
You're right, Barbara.
What? That's the first time I think you've ever said that.
Where will it be, the last murder?
I'm not sure.
We have to figure it out before it's too late.
Well, let's see. If all the murder locations are like puzzle pieces, I can use their location to estimate... That doesn't make sense. What if I... Here, I've got it, right here, the town park.
Yes, we finally have it. We can be done.
What can be done?
I told them that you would be the one to solve this for us.
Us? Chief, now you're the one who sounds crazy.
Barbara, you were always my favorite detective. I have to admit, part of me is sad it's going to end, but this is the way.
Where are you going?
Well, don't worry. I'll see you there.
Oh my God, Chief, you're one of them.
Goodbye, Barbara.
Barbara focuses, grabs a gun from the desk drawer and her recorder.
I'm gonna save this town if it kills me.
Scene 13. Nighttime. We are in the town park. Barbara enters and is completely alone.
Hello? I know you're out here. I'm not going to let you kill another person, whoever you are.
Barbara, I'm so glad you could make it. We've all been waiting for you.
Who's there? Come out with your hands up.
Yes, it is about time we meet face to face.
You're dead.
That is what I needed you to believe, but I never lied. I've only ever told the truth. But what is the truth if not what we choose to believe? Ambert Croce believed in his truth right up to the point where they killed him for it. We are standing on those hallowed grounds at this very moment. This park is sitting atop what used to be the gallows of Eldridge Grove, where our leader was forever silenced for bringing the truth to his people. How fitting that soul will rise from the very spot Ambert Croce fell. Now, I lead these people to a new world. Let me help you.
You're sick and you're under arrest. Put your hands where I can see them.
You can put the gun down, Barbara. You won't be arresting me. After tonight, there won't even be a jail for me to go to. Once we've made a path for its soul and all is cleansed, we won't need jails or gallows or any other remnants of this plagued existence.
You've spent your whole life preaching about the truth when you've been hiding this? You're murdering and mutilating innocent people.
No one is innocent. That is why its soul must come to make us clean. Those who've lost their lives were blessed with finding him sooner. Look, my followers have come to thank you themselves. You're the reason we're here tonight. You see, the last attempted ritual was incomplete, leaving us without the location of the final sacrifice. Try as we may, we could never understand the code, but it's so simple. Our own crest. The map was pinned to our very hearts this time. It took you to show us the way, Barbara. And now, you will guide us to our promised reward. You are the last sacrifice. You will complete the puzzle. I'm sure Soul will grant you a special place in the new world.
Stop talking! One more word and I'm shooting!
Don't delay this any longer. It won't hurt very much, I promise.
Wait, stop, you're short. If you're alive, that means you're one sacrifice short. You need 13 for your backwards ritual, and if you're only at 12, if you kill me now...
Always one step ahead, aren't we, Barbara? You're absolutely right. We were short one sacrifice. Until this morning.
What?
You see, the mayor was feeling so lost in his jail cell, and we thought it right to pay him a visit. We smuggled him out of prison and took him to the remains of the radio station. From there, you know the rest. We owe you another thanks for aiding in his arrest.
You killed the mayor.
Better than he deserved. He was a crooked politician who profited off the suffering of others. He was taking money from the way to fund his campaign. He knew who we were, but didn't care so long as it benefited him. But soon, all will be forgiven. Our sins will be washed away in a lake of fire. Barbara, you have a choice to make. This isn't a puzzle you can solve. There's no secret clue that will save the day. You can either put the gun down and join us, willingly sacrifice for something greater than you could ever imagine, or choose to stay lost, and we will be forced to complete the sacrifice for you. So, what will it be?
You're right.
Yes.
I can't solve this. So I'll stop it. That's right! Who else wants some? We're all going to hell sooner or later, huh?
The time has finally come. My work on earth is done. Soon all we know and cherish will be gone. The fire will burn bright, a new world born from light. Soul's love and mercy will forever guide us all. Soul, I give myself to you. When the lives of 13 are gone, your name and power shall live on. It is finished.
The other cultists swarm Harold. They part, revealing that Harold is dead. His eyes have been removed and his body is positioned on a stool with a radio in his hands.
No! Wait, I didn't mean to! Please, no!
There you have it. These were the last recorded happenings of that night in Eldridge Grove. The complete, first-hand account of what really happened all those years ago. We will never be certain of the true cause of the fires that overtook the town, or the disappearance of all its residents. But if these tapes have taught me one thing, it's that anything is possible. Can you believe what you hear? Can you believe what you see? These are questions only you, dear viewer, can answer. And that is the conclusion of our program. I've been your host, Walter Sullivan, and remember, don't settle for anything less than the truth.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end of The Way, a horror musical written by myself and Madison Armstrong. If you got this far, thanks so much for watching. This was such a fun project to work on, and musical number 2 in our bigger project where we are writing 15 musicals in 15 months. The next show is already in pre-production. It's about Sam Bass, a famous train robber and outlaw who lived in and around Texas in the 1800s. I'm super excited about that one and can't wait for you to see it. If you enjoyed this show, please let me know in the comments. I'm trying to make these just for some artistic fulfillment, but sharing ideas and music with other people is what I'm all about. Tell me what you like, tell me any notes you have. I don't really know what the plan is for these shows after they're done. Maybe submitting them to publishers, maybe festivals. I don't really know. If you have any ideas, I would love to hear them. If you want a more day-to-day update of how the next musical is going, feel free to follow me on social media sites like TikTok and Instagram, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more original music, as well as videos about music and how music can tell stories. Thanks so much again. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.